Hello. So here are some just examples of how you can practice leave it with him that will hopefully reinforce just like leave it across the board. Um, he is super motivated by play more so than anything else. So that's pretty much what I've been using, like is just the toys. We'll also reinforce it and practice it like in the daycare yard or on walks or whatever. Um, but I honestly think that play is probably the best way to practice it just because he gets so excited. He gets to such a high level with it that it's the best thing that we can practice on. Um, so I started off just kind of gauging like where he was at today. This was literally like right after I talked to you, and so we just went back in the training room and started to work on stuff. But he was doing okay. It wasn't as like sharp or as snappy as I like, but he also wasn't becoming like super manic or like almost frantic about like having to get the toy back. So I would say he was kind of just like middle of the road. He wasn't doing super exceptional, but he also wasn't doing poorly with it. Um, but I tried a couple different techniques with him, so I'll talk about each of them in the video and throughout this. But this is just kind of where I wanted to start. I wanted to see like what would he offer. I wasn't super pressed, like I wasn't really urgently trying to get him to leave it. I just wanted to see like what is he able to offer right now. So right here, I'm asking him for a leave it, and I'm not necessarily trying to encourage the play. One thing that he does a lot is he'll turn things into a game. So like especially probably as you're becoming frustrated, he's almost using that to feed his game. So the best thing that we can start practicing with him, and again, this is practice. This isn't like if he has something that is an emergency or you have to go get from him. But practice with his toys, practice with stuff like that, so that way he starts to understand that it's not gonna become a game. If I ask you to leave it, we're just gonna wait until you leave it. It's not something that he can turn into a game. It's not something that he can wiggle out of. Like it's truly just we'll wait and we'll get through this together. Eventually, once he lets go of it, generally what I'm looking for from him more so than like obviously just leaving the toy alone is I'm looking for kind of his energy. Like I'm looking to see where is he at, and some of it is pretty clear. Like his body language can be super important. If he's like the toy, I kind of know that he wants to go for it. But I'm looking for almost like a softness in his body language. This is not necessarily the fastest way to get him to leave something, like if he's barking or if he has a toy that he's not letting go of. This isn't going to be something where it's super sharp and snappy, but rather it's going to be more of the process of him working the almost the energy or the frustration out of his body. Like he's just naturally de-escalating. The more calm energy that I can kind of bring to it, the stiller that I can be, the less tugging, the less movement that I'm doing. It just teaches him that like, oh, the game's over. So really that's what I'm trying to do. He will continue trying to get the game to become alive again, essentially. But that's the piece that he needs to work on. It's not necessarily like the leave it in and of itself. Like he can do leave it's pretty good once we get into the rhythm and the routine of things. However, what I think really needs to be kind of shifted within him is how the mechanics of how he's able to get the game to continue rather than him forcing the game to continue and making the game continue through just his misbehaviors. There's a better way to do it. Like you can get the game to continue by calming down or by disengaging, by leaving it alone. That is the fastest, most effective way to get what he wants, essentially. Like that's what I'm trying to recondition and reshape for him. So we did a little bit of play stuff here. Eventually I do some stuff where it's more of a walking leave it. So this is a little bit of more energy. Like the more movement is involved, typically the harder it is for him to leave something. That's why a lot of times I'll ask him to go into that sit just to make the leave it a little bit easier. But that's another thing too that I wanted to not forget to mention is I found that most of the time, not every single time, but I want to say maybe 80 or 90% of the time, if I need him to leave specifically the toy, like in this video that we're playing with, if I need him to leave the toy alone, I can get him into the sit, he'll naturally drop the toy, and then I can almost ask for the leave it afterwards. Like I said, it's not a guarantee all of the time, but it's something that it's almost like incompatible for him. He can't play with the toy and sit at the same time. Like, it just doesn't compute. So that might be one way that we can kind of like override his tendency to turn things into a game.
Good. No, no, no. Good. Good. Yes, good boy, kid. Good boy. Oh my.
So right there, I was giving him little tap taps with the leash to essentially tell him like, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Nope, try it again. Part of what I'm doing with the leash is I'm making sure that he's not able to go get the toy. Like, if I don't want him to go get it, if I don't want him to go play with it, it's just the accountability of making sure he can't go do that. But what I've also started to set up with him is the idea of tension release. So it's almost like a tap on the shoulder. It's me telling him, nope, that's where you messed up. Nope, that's where you messed up. Eventually, it's not going to be something that you have to do so persistently. It's more of like a corrective, like, okay, this is your warning. But right now, I'm just trying to get him to understand what I need him to do, because there's almost like a disconnect there.
Phoenix, leave it. Yes. Yes, good boy, get it. Yeah, look at that, good boys. Look at it, good boys. Good boys, mister. Whoa, you got that. Let me see. Okay, leave it. Good. Leave it. No. Hey. Good. Yes, good boy. Get it. Yay! Good boys. Oh my goodness.
Okay, here is another way that you can work on some more just clarity, I guess, for him for leave it stuff. This one to me is a little bit on the nose. I don't like to do it a ton, but it's something that is definitely good for him. And you can see his body language. Like, he's watching the toy, he's watching it. Right there, like, you can really see he's not letting go of that toy. He's focused on it right there. He checks in with me, so I give him a good boy, and then I wanted to see, like, okay, how does he do if I do that? And right there, he went for it. So this is practice of essentially I'm kind of trying to remove myself from this. I don't want to have to be holding it. I don't want to have to be in between him and the toy to get him to stay away from it. I'm still helping him out. Like, there's still some of that there going on, but I'm also relying a little bit more on just like the leash tension release and him understanding, like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So essentially what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for him to pull. I give him a little tap tap on the leash paired with an or a no, or however you want to communicate that he's messed up. And right there, when he checks in with me, that's when I reward him. So one thing for him is, like, you'll kind of see that once he gets the reward, he kind of just wants to immediately go into the play again. So that is another piece of what I'm trying to teach him, is that just because you get rewarded, just because you did something right, doesn't mean you get to go do that thing that I don't want you to do. In this case, it's go after the toy. So just because I told you, like, yes, good boy, you did it, and I gave him some praise, it doesn't mean we're finished per se. He almost like releases himself. He's like, okay, yeah, cool, I did it. I'm gonna go do this now. And that is a piece that I really want to work on.
Leave it. No. Yes. Good. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Leave it. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. That's a good boy. Let's go. No. Let's go. Yes. Good boy. I know. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Oh. No. Not right back to it. Come on. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. boy. Okay, get it. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Look at these toys. Look at these toys. Get it. Go boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Phoenix. Come here. Good boy. Set. Flip. Good. Good boy. No, sir. Right back here. Come here. Sit. Go boy. Give it up. Phoenix, leave that. Yes. Yes, good boy, get it. Woo, good boy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's your good boys. There's your good boys. Kill it. Kill it. I'm faster than you. Good boy, that's good. Leave it.
Right here, what I'm looking for is for Phoenix to check in with me. So you'll notice as soon as he kind of shifts his focus off of the toy and looks at me, I release him and he gets to go get it.
Good. Yes, get it.